The peak of happiness is crying, and the peak of sadness is laughing. At the extreme ends of any human pursuit, meaning collapses into its opposite. I remember as a kid running my hand under the boiling hot water whilst making a bath. There was a moment where my hand wasn't burning anymore. It started feeling cold. My nervous system was overwhelmed to a point it couldn't distinguish right from wrong, but it still knew it hurt. And that moment never left me. It taught me something I wouldn't understand until much later. When something becomes too intense, it stops behaving as what it is. Too much light becomes blinding. Too much meaning becomes unbearable. So I wonder, is ignorance bliss, or is it just another kind of blindness? We live under the assumption that happiness is smiling and sadness is wallowing. But the paradox is, we don't really control our inner states. We only witness how they leak out on our faces. The body becomes the betrayer of the story the mind wants to tell. Which brings me back to this idea. When anything reaches its absolute form, it no longer behaves as itself. And this doesn't just happen in the body, it happens in life. The poorest people are often the most religious because they need hope. The richest people have everything the world can offer except God's approval. One lacks the world, the other has exhausted it. And yet both arrive at the same question. At the extremes, we stop asking for more and start asking why. Both have reached a limit where the world alone is no longer sufficient. Maybe that's why the world feels like it's designed for tension, not completion. Why the journey matters more than the destination, because where you come out is rarely fulfilling, but what it takes to get there is. We shouldn't want to be perfect. There's less meaning in perfection than in imperfection, because at the extremes, everything digresses. And maybe that's the quiet truth underneath all of this, that nothing human was meant to reach its absolute form. Not joy, not suffering, not meaning, not even purpose. Because the moment it does, it stops behaving like itself.